In contrast to her physical appearance, the reflection showed a dignified woman wearing a neat black suit and holding an attaché case. She exuded determination and success. A warm feeling filled me as I looked at the child, thinking that even though she was just a child, she already had a vision of her future. I am sharing this scenario because that child is one of those who comes from a family living in poverty. According to a 2023 report from the Philippine Statistics Authority, 15.5% of the population in the Philippines is living in poverty. Today, I'll talk about how poverty is a social issue in the Philippine education system and why is it important to address this issue if we want to break the cycle of inequality and create a better future for all. Poverty is often the root cause of social issues in the Philippines. When marginalized families struggle to meet the basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing, it becomes nearly impossible for children to focus on education. Instead of going to school, children are expected to contribute to household income in order for them to have food on their table. In fact, it has been documented that children from poor families are likely to drop out of school, perform poorly in their academics, and have a high likelihood of entering child labor or worse, crime. Another effect of poverty is a long-term psychological damage. Poor family children usually experience stigma and discrimination. They may feel ashamed about it all, which afterwards reflects on their mental health and confidence in their own capabilities. The stress of living in such conditions fosters anxiety, depression, and a feeling of futility, which in turn diminish the capacity of such children to perform well in school and eventually in life. For example, teasing a student because there are holes in his shirt can be a form of discrimination, especially if that child came from a poor family. Teasing and shaming for worn, torn, or shattered clothing because of inability to financially resolve it, then this may foster stigmas around poverty. This kind of behavior can make a student feel humiliated, excluded, and lower his self-esteem that could possibly interfere with his emotional and academic performance at school and society. So the question is, what can be done to break the cycle of poverty? First of all, I think our government should work to ensure that every child in the country receives a quality education regardless of their socio-economic status. This can be achieved through investing in public schools, providing free school materials, uniforms, and meals. It would also be beneficial to empower educators by training teachers for personal development growth and support them to enhance their ability to meet the diverse students' needs. Second, creating strategic partnership among government, non-profit organizations, and local communities. Community-based programs, for instance, they can provide services like tutoring, mentoring, and supporting children from low-income families. Private sector's involvement can also make a critical difference through the provisions of scholarships, internships, and other opportunities that can help students succeed inside and outside of the classroom. To close my speech, the problem of poverty within the Philippine education system is not a problem of material resources. It's a problem of the nation's future. Failing to invest in the education particularly those poor ones. We are stealing their future and they may not be able to reach their full potential. But I believe if we face these challenges head on, the result will be an education system that leaves the